Hello and welcome to Downy Park. It is Game 3 of Day 1 for the Softball Australia Cup, and we have the Aussie Spirit taking on world number 1, Japan. We're excited for a really thrilling match ahead, and of course, it's great to be here. We've seen 2 big games already today. Australia, of course, kicking off in the first one before Japan. We saw them for the first time, a pretty remarkable score in the end against New Zealand. But now it is time for the big one. Of course, I'm joined by someone that probably needs no introduction to softball viewers, the most capped softball international ever, Stacey Porter. Stacey, thank you so much for joining us here on the broadcast.
Thank you for having me, and it's great to be here and watching international softball on, well, Australian soil, not home soil.
Well, let's talk about that. You're going into now your 19th season over in Japan. You'd be pretty familiar with a lot of these Japanese players.
Definitely, yes. I've played against all of them, and I'm sure if anyone caught a glimpse of the last match, we know what we're going to get with Team Japan. They're world class. They train 5-6 days a week, and some of those results on the field just show just how hard they work. So it'll be an interesting match.
Well, I think it's best described as probably clinical. It was a very professional, slick performance. 8 runs in the first innings alone by them. Complete shutout too. No runs scored by New Zealand. Haven't seen them have the opportunity just yet through the first 2 games that they have played in this cup so far. But, of course, a lot of players been rotated through now as well. For the Australians, though, a different pitcher starting now. Kaya Parnaby, a player you're very familiar with. You played 12 seasons with her across in Japan. She'd really know this Japanese side.
She definitely will, and I guess in saying that, they will also know Kaya Parnaby. As you said, she's been there for 12 years now. She's just retired. But yeah, they will know Kaya, but I think Kaya knows how to battle against the Japanese. She's been very successful in her time in Japan, so I'm really excited to watch Kaya pitch, and hopefully she comes out, and I've seen her strike out the team before, so that's hopefully what happens today.
And someone who is returning from injury as well, she's had a bicep tear. She's now on the way back. How important is to see her come out now to deliver this strong performance?
Yeah, well, it is very important. Yeah, injuries are tough for anyone, especially a pitcher. So I'm sure she's just looking to get some quality innings in today and maybe not go the whole 7, but I'm sure she'll have a good couple of innings and test it out, and I'm sure she'll do the job.
And where do you think Australia can possibly go? What do you think they have to do to try and get the win here?
Look, Japan, we know what we're going to get with Japan, but also in saying that, we can work that in our favour. So I think we just need to limit, they take extra bases on, single hits to the outfield. They're just aggressive, so if we can limit their bases, keep them in the park, keep the ball in the park, no home runs, play good defence. We played a great quality game against New Zealand, so I think if they can back that up and just come out as they did in that game, it'll be a real challenge.
And we saw some really exciting debutantes already today. We've got in line for a couple more. Abby Bastian is named as one of the debutantes too. So it's great to see, although there's been a lot of change in this Aussie Spirit side, it's an opportunity for some of the other players coming through to really extend that squad depth, considering there is a World Championship games this year, and of course the finals will be here in Brisbane next year too.
Yeah, exactly. And there's always a time in our game that people leave and people come in, so it is a very exciting time for the debutants, and hopefully they feel a little bit more at home on home soil, but yeah, hopefully relaxed. They're all coming off their nationals tournaments, so they're all in form, so I just hope that they can roll that form into today.
There was a couple of players particularly who were spoken about having such great time at the Gilly Shield, of course, and hopefully we can see that. Chelsea Robinson, a player that technically made her a full senior debut in the previous game today as well, had a great Gilly Shield too, so hoping that form just continues on the international stage.
Definitely, and I've played with Chelsea for a long time. She's been around for a while, so it's great. I didn't actually know that was her debut, so you just feel like she's been here for a long time, so great to see that. I guess generally we don't get a lot of games in Australia, so post Gilly Shield there's not a lot of stuff happening for our girls, so this is such a great opportunity. We had the US series before Gillies, and I think that there's just going to be more games happening in Australia, and that's just so much better for our game and for our fans and our grassroots level that can be here and watch.
It's been an absolutely fantastic summer of softball. Of course, this is just day one of the Softball Australia Cup. I'm going to hand over now to our broadcast team and James Harris, and of course, softball legend Joyce Lester. They'll take you through the lineups and everything else ahead of this game.
Oh, thanks a lot, Georgia. And, well, softball royalty, Stacey Porter, royalty to my right, Joyce Lester. Fantastic day of softball so far. I think Stacey nailed it as well in regards to the way that she wrapped up both Australia's and Japan's games that they've had so far.
She would know the teams better than anybody else. She's an absolutely legend in Japan. Like, a lot of people go to Japan and they play well, but she's played great. She's been in the best 9 numerous amount of times. She knows the Japanese back to front. And when you say that, you've got Kaya Parnaby, a teammate of hers, who's 12 years that she played with SGH, and I think that's just going to be an advantage for her. But of course, the pitching's changed quite a bit, and I think that'll be interesting to see right from the beginning of the game how Australia's going to attack them.
Yeah, and although Kaya has played in Japan for those 12 seasons, that's on their soil, that's on their playing surfaces. This is in Australia, in Australian conditions. You know, the Aussie lefty veteran, there's still plenty left in her career.
Oh, look, I think so. And I recently spoke to her and I said, you know, after watching a pitch the last time, the spin on her ball is still pretty great, you know, and when you get a little bit older, you play smarter, you know who you're playing against. So hopefully that's where Kaya's headed, and using more spin on her pitches. And obviously, having played in Japan, she'll be using the edges of her plate really well.
Also, Georgia spoke about the debutantes, Mai Giros, a couple of hits in that game. Arwen Kavanagh came in and she was terrific. She closed out the game really well, her 2 innings worth of work. Chelsea Robinson got blooded into the game as a DP, bit of a soft start, so to speak. She's in the starting lineup. Abby Bastion, there she is on screen, will be making her Aussie Spirit debut. And then the final one to get her start in her debut will be Amber Hood. She's starting on the bench at the moment, but I'm sure she'll come in at some stage. But you look at the Aussie team, and it looks pretty solid. It looks like very similar lineup to the first game as well, where they had great success at the top of the order as well, scoring those 4 runs. Whitefield, Geros, Titsakronis, Trim, Adkins, Steamers, top 6 haven't changed.
Well, I'm sure that's exactly what Kerry Porter, coach, is thinking, is once you win a game and your team has moulded and sort of melded together, you really want to keep them together. You want to have that consistency to start with and only make small adjustments. So it is great that she's using her new players that are new to the team, and we can see that they've achieved and doing so well. It's actually exciting to sit here and watch it, you know. And I shouldn't say I'm a selector, but I am, and so it's even more exciting for me to see that they're achieving success.
And there's Team Japan on screen. On the flip side of that steady top 6 for Australia, Japan, on the flip side, have got 4 starting players from last game and a couple of players who came in for a pinch hit in the starting lineup for this one. Feels like a completely different side.
Well, I can say to you it won't be, but these guys are so well drilled, and it's exactly as Stacey Porter said. You know, you look at this team, and the minute a ball is hit, you know they're going to go an extra base. Australia have to be aware. They've got to be on their toes and ready for absolutely anything.
The thing that really impresses me about the Japanese is their contributions. It feels like they go out there and they've got a team game first and foremost. They're making like, you look at the stats from the last game, and it looked like 9 of their batters had RBIs or more. Well, with their pinch hitters, they just, when it's their turn, they step up.
And there's a lesson here for all players. When you play against Japan, especially your battery, you've got to be on the money. If you let that ball float anywhere onto that plate, you're done. You know, they have no mercy for their defenders at all. They're just attack. And they've, since Utsugi, Leiko Utsugi's been the coach of the team, she is strict. Man, she was a great hitter herself. I remember her hitting the ball over the fence on regular occurrences. And even to the start when she used to play, she actually used to coach and play and sometimes brought herself on in really difficult situations and, sad to say, would hit a home run or hit in the runs to win the game, bringing herself on. That's a big call.
There she is on screen with Australian coach Kerry Porter. It's a great story, isn't it? Chinese-born, moved to Japan, wasn't allowed to play originally, and then got the clearance and hasn't looked back since, leading this Japanese program and to great success.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and I do remember the first time when she actually played for Japan. She came to Sydney, and I remember we were playing against them, and in those days we used to beat them quite often. But in this particular day, this chick came up to bat and she hit 2 home runs against us. I remember saying to the pitcher, "Who is this bird?" And of course then we realised it was the old Chinese player who'd gone over to Japan to play, and of course Leica Utsugi.
Well, slight delay. The evening sun is coming down over left field. There it is right there. and it's probably going to affect maybe the left-hand batter, maybe even the right-hand batter. It might be out in their peripheral vision, but the catcher maybe as well as the home plate umpire. So there might be a slight delay.
Yes, it's not exactly in line, between back behind the pitcher, but still they see it as it's going to influence the game. So they'll wait for the sun to go down for a while and then start the game.
Well, we might only just being told that we might need to get Georgia on the mic, see if she can find someone in the crowd and have a chat. Georgia, if you can hear, and we can go on talking. Let's talk about what's on screen there. Do the debutants have to carry those around, the team rookies?
Yes.
Do they have a name?
I should know. I've been to their meetings when they present the flags and the spirit of the team, and there's a great lot of patriotism that goes on within the team, and of course Tamika Whitefield, who's one of the leaders of the team, she usually presents that.
Who's the flag bearer for this tour?
Oh, that's a good question. I wasn't there this year because I'm doing this. And
a question without notice. I'm sorry, Joyce. Here we go. The team announcements, and Tamika Whitefield going to be leading off for the Aussie team. Debutante in the early game today, Maya Juras went 2 for 4 in her debut game. Dream debut, Joyce.
Oh, absolutely. And I love the fact that we looked at her years ago and thought, gee, this is a girl for the future, and she's back. And she's really made her mark the first time with Australia written on her shirt. It's great to watch.
There's that top 6, and here she comes, the debutante making her Aussie Spirit debut, Abby Bastian, who went to an Aussie under-18 camp, backed it up with the Australian under-23 National Championship, where South Australia won their maiden Joyce Lester Shield. Then she had a quick 2-week break over Christmas before going to the Gillies Shield, making her debut there, winning the Rookie of the Year award and making the starting lineup for South Australia, who were finalists in that tournament. And then she was notified that she'll be making her Aussie debut in this tournament before heading off to the under-18 Nationals, where she made all tournament team selection. So it's been a busy 6 to 8 weeks for that player there, Abby Bastian.
I think that sort of thing just makes someone better, playing a lot of ball and playing every time she plays, she makes a mark again. She plays so well, she bats well, she fields well. She's an all-rounder in this game. I'm really interested to see how she goes today.
Yeah, and there is the Aussie lineup. And here come the Japanese. Well, it was a shellacking, wasn't it? 12-0. They scored 9 in the first, and Urara Fujimoto, who was the second named out, stands at 4'11", went 2 for 3 with an RBI and a stolen base. The respect that these players show for the diamond, they will announce, they will bow to the crowd, they will bow to the opposition, they will run around first base, not to hit the infield. Joyce, you had some experience in Japan playing and coaching. What the respect that these players have for the game?
It's just the whole nation in general, is that there's this respect that you show the whole time. I mean, and there's as you go to play, of course you bow after your whole team's together. And usually each side has a band, and their band plays for their team, and then they actually play again for the opposition team to wish them the best as well.
Amazing. Amazing respect for our game. We're going to cross down to Georgia Rajic, who has got a couple of young fans.
Yeah, I'm right here with Hayley and Ashmill, two big fans. How exciting is to have the Aussie Spirit placing off world number 1 Japan right here in your own ballpark?
Really exciting.
Are you planning to come across the weekend as well to support the Aussie Spirit?
Yes, I'm coming Saturday, Sunday.
So across the Spirit squad, who are your favourite players? Who have been looking forward to seeing the most?
Tamika, probably.
Yeah, she had a great first game against New Zealand as well. Great to see what she's been able to do so far. Heard that they actually had a coaching clinic yesterday with some of the Japanese and the Kiwi players too. So it's great to hear all the teams getting involved in the festivities across the week. Can I have your tips of what you think how this game's going to end?
Hope Australia wins.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's fingers crossed for that. Back to you, James.
Amazing. Thank you to Georgia, the two young fans, as we pause for the two national anthems. It's amazing, one of those last shots. The land of the rising sun, Japan, with the sun setting behind the players during their national anthem. The players will now come to home plate. They'll shake hands, and we are just moments away from Game 3 of the Softball Australia Cup, the Aussie Spirit versus Japan. And Joyce, it's hard to forget what we saw earlier this month. The Australian team, they failed to score a run against world number 2. This is Japan, world number 1. Are we going to see anything different? Is it a different team?
Look, I think a lot of the players would have come away from that tournament knowing exactly what they had to do before the next tournament. You know, you'd look at your own performances and think, I can't do that again, I have to change something. So hopefully that's what they've done. They've gone home, and especially, I think, in the pitching department of actually facing faster pitches And I think that's the issue we have. We don't play enough games like they do in Japan, and they're facing pitches, fast pitches all the time. And, you know, when the Japanese train, they're forever putting up situations where they're batting against their own pitches and they're playing games against themselves, doing situations. We tend not to do that as often. But again, they're forever playing, you know, 6 days a week. Yes, absolutely.
Let's cross down to Georgia again. Got an update for us?
I do. Well, it's here with the weather. And James, you mentioned how beautiful that shot was with the sun setting in the background. And with it, the temperatures have been dropping too. It was around 30-31 for most of the day today. And I can tell you there is a lot of relief with the sun setting and that little bit of respite and a light breeze coming through. So I would say arguably a lot nicer conditions to be playing this final ball game of the evening.
Thanks, Georgia. Let's keep talking about Team Japan, Joyce, and the 17 players that they brought over. They can only name 16 in a WBSC sanctioned event, so one player will always see it out and they'll rotate that through the tournament. But of the 17 players, 15 of them are born between 1998 and 2001, and there's no one over the age of 30 in this squad. Deliberate? Are they looking for 28-28? Are they looking for the future here?
Absolutely. And everything they write about their players, that's what they're saying. You know, this player is going to be one of the players performing towards to go to the World Championships. And then to the Olympic Games. Now, I think they are so good at setting goals and working towards them, the Japanese. I mean, they're so disciplined, as we know, watching them warm up. I mean, even if you came out to the ground just to come and watch them warm up, people would be amazed. They're so disciplined, they're ordered, and they're just great players.
Now, are you perhaps one of the world, if not the world's best pitcher at the moment, one of the world's best pitchers at the moment? Mia Goto is in the lineup. She's sitting in the dugout. She's on the bench for this game. We're expecting to see her perhaps in relief as Japan used 2 of their pitchers in their first game.
I'm not really sure what they're aiming to do here. They've got quite, they've got the pitcher Haruna Nakamura, who is starting in this game, and we haven't seen her before. She comes from the club of Shionogi, or the company, and so she's supposed to be the fastest right-hand pitcher at the moment in Japan. And so this is the first time we'll get to see it. It'll be interesting.
Well, that's a great segue, Joyce, and she's responsible for some upset wins against the big 3 in the professional league, in the JD League, and so, you know, our information suggests that, you know, it might be a bit of a mystery to these Aussie players. Haven't really seen her before, but we'll be interested to see how Haruna Nakamura goes. She's actually pitching. Make sure I get the right scorecard in front of me. She's actually pitching Takumi Ide at first base, Iri Shimiyama at second base, Kana Kudo, Saori Yamuchi at third base, Nui Nakamizo at shortstop, and the outfield left to right, Urara Fujimoto, Risa Kawamura, and Natsumi Fujimura. That is your Japanese defensive lineup, and we're about ready to go.
Looking forward to it, and I suppose we're going to see the usual Japanese recipe of not seeing much ball go on the plate, lots of angle coming across the plate. So the Australian players are going to have to be very selective about the pitches that they choose, and of course we know that the Japanese always have a great change-up.
Pitching, we mentioned the pitcher just before. Catching, of course, is a prodigy coming in to play, Ide, and she's been one of the young players on the roster, just born in 2025, so 20 years of age there. She is on screen, has been a standout at the 2023 Under-18 World Cup. And she batted .429, a defensive specialist that can hit .429. That's not too bad at all, and a genuine threat with the bats.
Yeah, well, I think with all their catches too, if something usually goes wrong, because I caught in Japan, and it's usually the catcher's fault every single time. And so you really have to be strong and confident to be able to be a catcher. And throw to two is pretty amazing as well.
From the left side, left-handed catcher.
That's a rarity in itself.
Yeah, another rarity is that she's already cemented her spot in the senior team at the young age of 20. So a lot of respect from the Japanese to give the kid such a highly important role as catcher of this team. Well, we are through the warm-ups. We are through all the presentations and about set to go for pitch number 1. Haruna Nakamura pitching to Tamika Whitefield. That one's in there for a strike. Looks like she had plenty of it on it as well. Good speed early on.
And I think the thing that you notice here is that most of the time the catchers are doing their own calling, and they don't have the armbands like the Americans or like ourselves. They've done all their homework beforehand.
Inside pitch. Oh, the throw goes wild from Nakamizo at shortstop. Tamika Whitefield's aboard. So positive start for the Aussie Spirit. You'll have a look on the replay here. Slightly jammed as she gets the bottom of the barrel, but makes it tough for the shortstop. Nakamizo had no control over that throw.
It's not something you see often at all, but a great start. Doesn't matter how you make first base, lead-off batter on for Australia. That's a plus.
Here's Maya Giros, who we saw that lefty in her first at-bat in the last game. Righty this time, lays down a sacrifice bunt. And dead ball or foul ball? Foul ball called. So good attempt to advance the runner. And you mentioned the lead-off's job to get on base. Whitefield did that 3 out of 4 times she got on base in the first game. Now she's on base here. That one up and out of the zone. Shiros does well to lay off that. Still showing bunt, so with the job to advance Whitefield, and you can have a look at the aggressive defense of the Japanese, both first and third base, nearly halfway down the line. There's a poke, but cannot get bat on ball.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on. I know people think it's easy to bunt. It certainly is not. And often the pitchers and catchers make it very difficult for the hitter to be able to do it. They don't serve up anything too easy.
That one outside and nearly in the left-handed batter's box. Two count. That one's off the glove. Foul ball called. That one was very close to the line, and we can see that Yamuchi, the third base for Japan, didn't panic. It was close to the line. She had a stab at it, and yeah, into foul territory. Great call from the umpire. That ball was hit hard.
It was, but the third base, she makes a great attempt at it. They're just so athletic, and it's so strong. And I really wanted to make a point of how much taller they are than they used to be. Like, as a general rule, Japanese people are taller now than they used to be like 30, 40 years ago.
With one exception, a great pitch has caught the outside edge, and Juros goes down looking fantastic spot to hit that outside edge with the left-handed catcher. Just a higher degree of difficulty. Just moves into position at that last moment and hits her spot. Yeah, I was going to say one exception. Urara Fujimoto, I think, is listed at 4'11".
Well, I would have said years ago they were all very short. And as a nation, they've really become taller and stronger. And it's really the players, when you looked at the Australian team and then you looked at the others across from the Japanese, you could see the Japanese were taller in general.
Hard hit shot from Taylor Titsikronis who goes down the line. It gets over Fujimoto. It's a double. Tamika Whitefield is turning. A fumble from Nakamizo with the relay gives Whitefield all the time she needs to put the first run on the board.
I know, that's fantastic. What a great start. You're just looking at her and I quite like her. I mean, she thinks it's great, but, I like that she's not going nuts and she's taking it in a stride.
Let's take a look at the replay, Joyce.
Oh, beautiful.
She hit this hard down the left field line. KP, Coach Kerry Porter, waving around her runner. Let's score this run. Titsikronis stands up at 2. Pumped with an RBI double.
Excellent start.
I'll get my composure as Jenna Trim comes up to bat. Taylor Titsikronis on her international return with an RBI double. She missed the USA series in preparation for the Gilly Shield. Back into the Aussie team and had an RBI in the first game against New Zealand. An RBI here in this game against Japan.
Love it. And often you see that when some of the ladies go and have children afterwards, they seem to come back so much stronger, for whatever reason. But great to see Titsikronis hitting form so quickly.
Trim fouls this one off. And a run on the board for the Aussies. I think a collective sigh of relief across that squad.
Yeah. Getting a run in early. Perfect.
Yeah, they struggled against the US team and now against world number 1, they've scored in the first inning. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves though, Joyce. I'm speaking to myself here as there's still another 3 days to go after today in the Softball Australia Cup.
And Japan haven't gone into hit yet either.
Trim. Ball into play, and Nakamizo, who had made a couple of fumbles early in this game, makes no mistake here. Let's take a look at the replay. Advanced the runner, Joyce, and the runner crossed in front of the shortstop there as well. Are you surprised she didn't go for the lead runner?
No, I suppose they want to make sure of the outs, especially after she's just fumbled that first ball. They probably know that the best thing to do is to make the outs. And I'm going to say they're going to feel fairly confident anyway, even though their starts have been a little shaky.
Oh, absolutely. You're not the world number 1 for no reason.
Yeah, maybe later in the game that would be a change play. Definitely.
Pippa Adkins up to bat, a double and a sacrifice fly in game 1. June Faroon pops it up foul, and Joyce, we're playing with the pitch clock again here in this series. We saw it during the USA Down Under series as well, where we saw a fair few timeouts due to that clock running down a little bit. Japanese seem at ease with this clock, with Nakamura running it right down to 2 and 3 and 4 seconds. Just a little miss hit and a dead ball called. We will reset. Surprising the hitter ran, knowing that was hit.
That's the smart thing to do, just in case the umpire doesn't see it. At least you have a chance.
And the smart thing to do was for the defence to make the play as well. So 2 out runner on third.
It's a lovely pitch. You know, this Nakamura is very interesting. It's not often you see a Japanese pitcher talking so much to the catcher and having, you know, that much to say. She's really interesting.
Full count. Down and in. Great turn at bat from Pippa Adkins.
It was a great turn at bat. She looked confident, sat back. I mean, if she had strikes, you'd want to see a hit. She had a few goes. The one thing you really want to see is people hitting the ball, but she really did a good job there. She didn't get much to hit at all.
Kylie Steamers now. And slight delay. Is that coming from the dugout or... Oh, catch a speed up. Taylor, it's Cronus. I was looking to see if the substitution had been made. That's why I pulled up my stats. And we've got...
I'm not really sure that was a speed up, though. It was a slowdown.
Jenna Trim. Well, the rules for those watching at home, the rules are if the batter... if the catcher or pitcher is in the batting lineup, they are on base with 2 out. They can be replaced for a speed-up rule. And Taylor Tsitsikronis made her way to third from second in that last play from Jenna Trim, and she wasn't replaced. It's a correctable offence as well, so no harm or foul, and she gets the time to go and put her catcher's gear on. The Scotland Steamers, there's fans at it for the first one and a strike.
Yeah, I like the fact that they're not swinging at these pitches. It's really good to see the Australians patient.
And now Nakamura maybe rushing a little bit now compared to what she was doing earlier in this inning where she seemingly had control. The ground ball, but it was a fumble, of course, but that was a chance. Followed by a strikeout, and then bang, bang, bang. Australia have gone RBI double, ball into play, which was a good play by the shortstop, and then a base on balls. Now, this next batter ahead of the count. 3-1 and a walk. So a little bit of pressure being applied by the Australian offence, enough so that a timeout's been called by Team Japan. And Joyce, let's get your thoughts and insight into what this discussion might be about.
Well, she's a rookie. She's only just made it into the Japanese team, Nakamura, and of course, I'm sure she's really nervous. And the fact that the first ball that goes down, she doesn't get backed up. You know, there's an overthrow, really doesn't help her cause. Not making excuses for her, but, you know, you could see in part of the time I said that she was talking a lot. And once she really started to get under pressure, that stopped. She shut down quite a lot. But I'm sure she's nervous. And Itsugi would only be coming out here and trying to get her to settle. Slow the game down a bit. I suppose you don't really know what it's like till you're out there in the middle having to throw the pitches.
Well, here is the third debutante for Australia in this series. Abby Bastian has just turned 18 years of age. And she's coming up in her international debut against the world #1 Team Japan. With loaded bases.
No butterflies here.
Nice shot up the middle. And Nakamura with the slight fumble. Pippa Adkins was sent home on the fumble. So there will be an RBI to Abby Bastian. She gets the hit up the middle. Nakamizo fumbles as the ball comes to her. Let's have a look at the replay. Then Pippa Adkins nearly got the hand under it. This angle will show it Well, Stevens had a... Oh, that's a great tag. That's a really good play.
I think she just missed that plate on the outside part of it. You know, sometimes when you dive in, it makes it really hard to change. Sometimes I wonder whether you just hit them as hard as you can, just come in straight in, you know, in the hope that they're going to drop the ball.
Well, good recovery from Nakamizo at shortstop. She was able to make the play at home. We'll have another look at it here after a fumble. So one run's going to score. It's the throw close by, and we have got a group of people looking over our shoulder at that replay to see how close that really was. Another look, great camera angle. Here comes Pippa Adkins. This is a great look. I'm trying to wrap it up, and a nice play as well from behind the plate. Claims it. So
that was a tough
Australia score 2 runs in the top of the first against Team Japan. They had 7 batters. They had a hit. There was a couple of errors, and it's been overturned. Let's make that 3 runs. An obstruction has been called at the plate, and you saw at the end of the play, first base coach Kim Tolinari called a timeout. She called a timeout, the first base coach, straight after that play was made. The catcher was blocking or obstructing the plate, and an obstruction is the call.
Yeah, it was a really tough call, but saying that, the catcher did put her foot there before she had the ball, and that is the rule.
3 runs now have crossed the plate for Team Australia. Abby Bastian stands at first. Kylie Steamers at second. Pippa Adkins and Jenna Trim scored. Jenna Trim was a courtesy runner for Taylor Tsitsikoronis, of course. She has the RBI from her double. Tamika Whitefield crossing the plate. Plenty to catch up on, as Chelsea Robinson has already seen a pitch. Or 2. A strike. There's a go at that one, and well, Australia, if their start wasn't great, it's even better now with that play there. Abby Bastian, ball into play, hitting it up the middle, and we've actually got Abby's mum to talk to in the break. So Georgia, we could go straight over to Chelsea Robinson, goes down swinging for the 3rd out. Let's cross over to Georgia, and she's got a very special guest with her.
I have 2 very special guests with me. The latest debutante for the Aussie Spirit, parents Julie and Bob of Abby, of course. Well, pretty dramatic moment to come on for your senior international debut against the world #1s, no less. But she got on base. How about that?
Yeah, very exciting. Very, very nerve-wracking, but very exciting. Very proud of her.
And of course, another player, we spoke to Alvin Kavanagh's mum earlier as well about the fact that they played last week in the under-18, still a teenager. Tell me a little bit about Abby's journey to come to the Aussie Spirit.
Abby this is her 4th tournament over the summer holidays. So she played in the 23s in Brisbane. Then she played in the Opens in Melbourne. And then she just recently played in the under-18s in Sydney. So she's had a fairly busy summer, but I don't think she'd be doing anything else. She loves it.
And also not just, of course, playing in these tournaments. She got Rookie of the Year, of course, in the Gillies Shield. A pretty remarkable achievement for the youngster. I have to ask, I was trying to find this in my notes, did she finish high school last year as well? She only turned 18 last week.
She's just finished high school. So, yeah, turned 18 on Saturday at the under-18s. And, yeah, we thought we were going to Melbourne to watch softball on the bench, but she actually spent a fair bit of time on the diamond and she batted really well. So, yeah, it was a bit of a bonus tournament.
Well, congratulations. We know that these players coming through these pathways, it's not just themselves, of course, plenty of Uber rides I assume you would have to give in the process to have her come to this international debut. Congratulations, and back to you, James.
Yeah, unreal start and a dream start for the debutante. 10 hits and a batting average of 400 in the Gillies Shield. And now she comes up and hits in a couple of runs against world #1 Japan.
Look, just hitting the ball, and she hit it really hard, is a great start. That would give her heaps of confidence.
A star of the Softball SA Premier League. You can watch them Wednesday nights during the summer. Shameless plug for our live stream. Let's go around the Australian defensive lineup. Kai Parnaby pitching to Taylor Titsakronis, Kylie Steamers at first, Tamika Whitefield at second, Chelsea Robinson at third, Maya Giros at shortstop, and the outfield left to right, Abby Bastian, remember that name, Pippa Adkins, Nicole Conacher. How good have the debutants been? Maya Giros, Abby Bastian, Chelsea Robinson, just in command of that left side in this game. Contributing with the bat as well.
Well, they'll have to back it up on the field, so this will be interesting to watch. They'll come out strong, Japan.
Leading off Natsumi Fujimura. And she'll face Australia's veteran lefty, Kai Parnaby, in there for a called strike. She clipped the hip on the way through.
Oh, yeah, it just slipped out.
'25 MVP, a power threat. Hitting .476, 7 home runs and 20 RBIs in the JD League East Division.
And she has that baseballery look when she lifts that front leg up for her timing.
And currently considered the most feared hitter in the Japanese domestic softball league.
That's a beautiful pitch.
Yeah, the backdoor curve for a lefty on a lefty is a great pitch to throw.
Yes.
Because the majority pitches that the left-handers see are the righties.
Yes, and it's difficult when it's coming in at you in your hands.
Pulls this ball to Tamika Whitefield for out number 1. And Australia are rolling. They've got the wind in their sails. They've scored 3 in the top of the first, and they make the first out here.
And just mistimed by the batter. Hitting it straight to Tamika Whitefield, who makes no mistake.
Urara Fujimoto stands at 4'11", 149 centimetres. But don't let that fool you. She went 2 for 3 with an RBI and a stolen base in the game against New Zealand. Hit .333 at the last World Cup.
She swings the bat hard. And Australia really trying to work those corners. Do the same thing, keep an angle on the pitch as it passes over that plate. The biggest mistake we've made in the past is we often throw parallel to the plate, to the edges of the plate, which makes it easier to hit.
A speed threat as well, can bunt for a base hit, but swinging away on this occasion. And the lefty-on-lefty matchup, are you favouring Australia with that matchup, the lefty-on-lefty?
Oh, look, I think so. And, you know, having the left-handed pitcher and having so many left-handers in the Japanese team, it has to be an advantage.
Great edge. Parnaby strikes her out looking on the inside. So 2 up and 2 down. And great calling from Titsakronis.
Absolutely. They've done their homework. I mean, Kerry Porter does a lot of work, make these girls do a lot of scouting. When they tomorrow morning, they'll wake up and look at all their batting. They'll look at everything that's going on, and they have a pre-plan every game. It's great to see.
Eri Shimoyama is the hitter, a reputation of being a clutch hitter, has got a list of accomplishments and accolades as long as your arm. Plays for Big Camera B Queen. And this one just gets away from Parnaby. We've seen a couple of those in this inning. We don't mind. She's getting the job done, of course.
Yes.
But just a couple of loose ones early in the game.
See that ball moving? It's great. She's really trying hard to make it more difficult for the Japanese hitters.
I said she played for Big Camera. She plays for the Toyota Red Terriers.
She
Joyce.
does.
Yeah.
I was never going to say that, but I...
Jump in.
No, I just wanted to make sure my information was correct.
Hit by pitch, up and in.
So she actually missed half of this season with an injury. I'm not sure what the injury was. And she's done really well to get back onto the national team after that injury. So being here is great. Surely the Japanese national team want to see how she can go.
There's a question being asked, and played up by James English, is talking to the translator, and they're just going to check if there was a swing, perhaps, or I actually didn't even take a second look at the replay of that hit by pitch. Let's see if we can get another look. As both teams have a chat, or all three teams are having a chat, the umpires, Team Australia and Japan. And she's been awarded first base. So, yeah, I didn't see a swing there, Joyce. Here's another look on the replay.
I know she looks like she's coming forward and then she goes out. Definitely no swing. She did make a forward movement, but she was actually moving back away when it hit her.
Well, base runner for Japan, Saori Yamauchi is the new hitter. Yamauchi. Got the thumbs up on the pronunciation. Yamauchi, the four hitter, had a sacrifice fly and an RBI.
She's hunting for something to hit.
Well, with the veteran on first, I'm still sure she's a smart runner, but probably less of a steal threat.
Well, I'm not sure. 2 out. I would say there would be a steal coming up soon.
We'll wait and see as yet another lefty. So 3 of the first 4 hitters, left-handers for Japan, as she drives this ball and it goes high in the air. By Juros, gets underneath, takes a great catch. Tough to read those ones in the early evening.
Great start by Australia. And, you know, basically the whole message here is that the Japanese team are human. They make mistakes. If you hit the ball and you force errors, you're like everybody else. They go under pressure, they make mistakes as well. And it's a message that you've just got to keep at them, keep hitting that ball.
Yeah, it's great as well to... it's a great message for anyone who's watching out there. You may not have had a great first inning, but it doesn't mean you're out of the game. Georgia, are you with us? Not quite yet. We've actually got a really special guest, Joyce, a former teammate of yours, coming up at the end of the next inning. Really excited to hear from an Olympian.
Oh, is it a secret? Oh,
No,
I saw
it's
her
not.
earlier. and she's here with her husband too, and he coached, her assistant coach for the Open team.
You can give it away if you like. Or we're going to catch up with.
I didn't say who it was.
We're going to catch up with Sally McCready again, and we can't wait. Let's turn the page and go back to Team Australia, who hold a 3-run lead. We go to the top of the first inning, and Nicole Conacher is going to lead off this inning. Just a slight delay. Just plate umpire is talking with the scorers. There may be a defensive change. It's the same pitcher, but I'm sure we'll get told should it come through. So that's what the slight delay in the restart is. And we're set to go. Nakamura and Conacher outside for a ball. Japanese defense right in on the bat of Conacher as she gets moving. And a nice play at shortstop. I was just taking a look. There is a defensive change. Number 4, Kanakudo, has moved over from second base to play shortstop. So they have made that change at shortstop. A couple of mistakes from Nakamizo. And Kanakudo moves from second to short. And we'll get you the replacement player at second as soon as we can. This is Whitefield as she gets the bunt down but unable to beat it out as Nakamura does the fielding off her own pitching, and quick as you like. What's that, 2 or 3 pitches? And there's 2 away for Australia.
Yeah, that bunt unfortunately went too far and too fast. Nice idea though.
And now Giros. So very quickly we see the third batter of the inning, and Giros leaves that one downstairs for a ball. I can't get a read on the number.
Don't ask me, I'm old.
It might be Shiho Suto, number 3 for Japan, into second base. And she's in the play here. Waits for the first bounce, fires it across, and a 5-pitch inning for Japan. It is number 3, Shiho Suto, at second base, and a nice and easy 1, 2, 3 for Japan.
Yes, very different to the last time, but again, a little bit of a defensive hit there, but still seeing good bat on ball, which is great from the Aussie team. I must let you know that since I said I was unsure about who received the skips, so Alyssa Mile has sent me a message to say, hey Joyce, the youngest have to carry skip around, and Pippa is the flag bearer for this tournament.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And can I give a shout out to the Sturt Falcons Softball Club, Pippa Radkins, who's carrying the flag, and it would be the youngest player in the team would be Abby Bastian or maybe Arwen. I was going to say Abby Bastian is one of the youngest in the team as well. Both started their softball at the Sturt Softball Club. So great heritage there from Aussie Spirit, as in Belinda White and Maddie Cameron have played out of the Sturt Falcons Softball Club. I'm sure I've forgotten 100 players. Laurie Brown going way back,
wow.
San Salvador World Cup. And now they've found their home in different places. Obviously, Pippa Atkins up here in Brisbane, and Abby Bastian at the Hills Heat.
Laurie Brown, there's a blast from the past. What a great pitcher she was.
Legend in South Australian softball, and we can see Kai Parnaby back on the stripe. She's throwing to the 5-hitter Kanakudo.
So I see a hometown is from Guma, which is where the Takasaki team or the Renaissance team is, the Queen Bees. So that was Utsugi's team, and I believe this year she's not coaching them this year.
Okay.
So probably focusing on the Olympics and the World Championship team.
Well, turns on that one hard, but fouls it back into her leg. The 5-hitter is the 4th left-hander to come up against Parnaby. So it looks like a good matchup for Team Australia and a good selection for pitching and having Parnaby start this game. Pulls this one hard. It bounces over the base, which means it's in fair territory. She turns to, has a look at where the play's coming from, which was going to third. So smart decision to hold up, and a stand-up double for Kudo.
Yeah, she's a very dangerous hitter, playing with the Takasaki team, and also 2022, 23 and 24. She got named in the best 9 in the JD League, which is pretty outstanding. You have to be a great player to get that. And I think Stacey Porter's been named in that a few times as well.
Hikaru Tsukamoto is the designated player, and she comes into the box, but as another left-hander. What are we seeing here in the dugout? Is that a pinch runner? I don't know. I was looking down at my notes and camera showing the Japanese dugout. That's okay. We'll go back to the action, and Kai Parnaby lefty on lefty yet again.
Sorry, I was looking at my notes too.
There's Kudo onto a lead-off double.
This is where they're really dangerous. They tend to really go on a roll. Someone gets a hit and then it's hard to stop them. Australia will really need to really change the momentum all the time during this time and make sure they're not serving it up to them to get them into a hitting frenzy, which they can do quite easily. That's a beautiful.
Avoids that one on the inside edge. Probably too much of the chalk line, I think, rather than the edge of the plate. But you're right, Joyce. It's a hard pitch to hit down and in.
Yeah.
Oh, pulls this one hard to the right side. The runner from 2, Kudo's going to score. The throw's wild from Conacher. It goes over the head of the shortstop, but Tsukamoto is going to be happy with their RBI single, and Japan are on the board.
2 hits in a row. They'll want to stop the momentum. Time, I can see Meeks has called time here, which is the right thing to do. 2 hits in a row, and not just ordinary hits, 2 very good, strong hits.
Due up was Nakamizo. She has been replaced by Shiho Suto. And another left-handed batter. So 6 out of the first 7. Yes, I'm going to count every one of them. And it looks like the on-deck batter is swinging lefty as well. Is it surprising for you, Joyce, to see this Australian defence, after 2 hard hits to the right side from the lefties, that the second base, Tamika Whitefield, is the one covering second? Just left that massive gap between first and second, just creating a wide open space for these lefties to continue to pull it into the hole.
Well, hopefully they change up what they're doing, the pitching and catching. It's really hard. These guys are great batters. But there is a big hole there. I'm sure KP knows it's there. She's always on to those sort of things.
Well, the defensive shift also shows that the third base, Chelsea Robinson, is right down, and Mai Giros, the shortstop, is playing inside the line as well. So they're defending hard on the left side. So that's probably what the charting tells them, meaning that Tamika Whitefield's probably expecting one up the middle rather than a hard ball right in the hole. It was regulation for Tamika if she was playing there, but you can't tell the future. But this one has gone straight in that gap, and 3 hits in a row, all to the right side for Team Japan. You'll see it there on the replay. And Koneke gets that throw on the spot. Runners at the corners for Japan.
That's your fault, you know, because you mentioned it.
More regulation defence for those watching at home here for this 1-3 split. And yet another left-hander, Risa Kawamura. This one's up and out of the hitting zone in case Japan were thinking of an offensive strategy.
Again, Guma must be another Queen Bee.
Great team name. Well, there's this one foul, and I think the lefty on lefty matchup earlier in the game, they've already found the answer for it. Turn on it.
Yes.
Turn on it and blast it to the right side, and we've seen 3 consecutive hits from the first 3 batters. Again, pulls the ball, it's high in the air. Whitefield gets under it, takes a catch in foul territory. The runner goes, thinks of home. Whitefield actually faked the throw home before she did let it go, and the runner got halfway down the line before she returned home. So it's a foul fly ball to second base. Great coverage from the captain.
Oh, yes. And that runner really took off as though she really looked like she was running home. She was trying to force her to throw.
There's the fake on the replay. 1 out, runners still at the corner. The 9-hitter to make it 8 out of 9 hitters in the lineup batting lefty for Team Japan. Now, Joyce, you know the Japanese players better than I, and obviously there's some that probably know them a little better than you, but do you think that Team Japan watched game 1, saw that Kaya didn't pitch and thought, well, they're going to throw Kaya against us, let's jam-pack the hitting lineup full of lefties?
They are full of lefties anyway. There's so many of them. I think when they are at school, they go, there's an advantage to being in the left-handed box, so let's make them all left-handers. They don't care about left-handed throwing because there really isn't an advantage to be a left-handed thrower, but definitely you're closer to first base. Makes you much quicker.
Well, timeout called, and it is head coach Kerry Porter to go out and have a chat to the Aussie infield. Kumi Ide is the hitter for Japan. And it was 4 batters, with the only one reaching on base in the first inning for Japan was a hit by pitch, whereas, you know, different side of the coin here in inning number 2, a double, an RBI single, and then another single, all to right field from this team of left-handed hitters. Seemingly back in the game. Australia lead 3-1 here in the home half of the second, and we're about to get back to live action. Takes off on the pitch. The throw over is cut from Whitefield. She throws it home, and the runner did not stop going from second. She popped up after the slide and then heads to third because it was Tamika Whitefield who cut off the play to try and throw home and get the runner. Here's a look at the replay. Tag not in time.
Yeah, you really need to see when that runner took off. So for Titsakrona, she needs to look at the runner on 3 before she makes that throw. They're very smart, the Japanese, and very quick.
We'll call it 3 stolen bases on the play. Suto getting 2 of those. And it was Tsukamoto who ran home from 3rd on the throw from Titsakronis. And Ide still with a runner in scoring position. A 3-2 ball game. Inside pitch, again turning on it, foul, and only 1 out, so we'll turn it over to the top of the order, and Fujimura, the on-deck batter.
Still only 1 out, which is a bit of a problem. They need to get a second out. They really don't want this run to score.
Great pitching from Parnaby, goes upstairs and gets Ide swinging for the second out. Geez, it started high and it just kept climbing the ladder.
That was really high. I can't believe she swung at it, but
2 out, back to the top, Fujimura. Outside edge for Parnaby. So after giving up 3 hits to the first 3 batters of this inning, it feels like she's settled back into that groove and she's found a couple of edges.
last turn at bat, Fujimori was early on that pitch, dragging it round to second base, not getting quite enough power on it. Hopefully, Kaya can keep her, off timing.
Goes inside and a slight fumble, but it's a little bit of cat and mouse, isn't it, by Suto, the runner on 3. Not far away, enough away from the catcher to take off, but just reminding the catcher that she's still there, just to add a little bit of offensive pressure. Nice pitch upstairs, so that rise ball really effective for Parnaby. And a timeout called from Titsakronis because there's 7 seconds left on the pitch clock and they haven't delivered the signal yet for what pitch is coming. Resets at 7, but Parnaby into her motion and plenty of time, goes upstairs again.
Pitch has been working well for them. They were hoping she'd have a go at it. So Parnaby and Titsakronis both play for New South Wales and have worked together for years.
Great pitch and back-to-back strikeouts. 3 strikeouts in 2 innings. Australia, well, they let in 2, but they stopped the threat and they still lead after 2 complete innings, 3-2. Cross over to Georgia and our special guest.
Here with a very special guest, 2 times bronze medalist with the Aussie Spirit, Sally McCready. Sally, well, it was a pretty brilliant start by the Spirit. Japan have come back a little bit in that last innings. You're a coach yourself. How have you seen the game fare so far?
Well, it was fantastic to see the way Aussie Spirit started the game and come out with that their bats firing in the first innings. Just, I think, really inspirational from Taylor Titsakronis, who's back into the team after having a baby, and just, I think someone with her experience, the way that she's now very confident in the way she plays, I think that rubs off on the rest of the girls. So it was great to see that start.
And of course, you're based in Canberra, so you recently coached the ACT at the Gilly Shield, and now you're here in the grandstand. Is it nice to have a little bit of a break from having to just enjoy the game of softball for once, especially an international tournament on home soil?
Yeah, that's right. It's really unusual for us actually, because normally, as you say, we're out on the diamond. But my husband said to me, this series is on. Do you want to go and watch? And I thought, yeah, that'd be great. And it's really nice to not have to actually think like a coach and just relax and watch the game and appreciate all the good softball. So yeah, it's great.
Look, I won't bother you too much more with any more coaching questions. I'll let you enjoy the game, of course. Thank you so much for joining us here on the broadcast.
No problem at all. Enjoy the night.
Back to you, James.
An old teammate of yours, Joyce.
Solly was a great player, great third base. Played for years for Australia.
Over 300 caps.
Oh, I couldn't count. It changed so much. They started playing very often compared to the old days where you played maybe 3 games a year, against New Zealand.
Yep, legend in the stands. Another one. We've spoken to Porter and with Juzzy in the commentary box before. So some great fans of softball. They just happen to be Olympians, Olympic medalists.
Great to see them still in the game.
Tsitsikronis is the batter in the box, and she ignited the Aussies with her RBI double in the top of the first. So she'd fancy this matchup as Nakamura continues her work.
Just trying to get that strike on the outside.
And just fouls that one off. Just catching up on my scorecard. That last inning went so quickly, I didn't even have it on my card. I'm down. I'm caught up now. Taylor Tsitsikronis in the box. A 2-2 count here in the top of the third. Crushes this one straight away. Centre field. Deep to centre field and one bounce and off the wall. Second double for Tsitsikronis. I mentioned the matchup. She likes it.
Well, she just, both of those hits, she's hit it so hard, but hardly any follow through. She just pounds it straight. Absolutely. It just shows you getting that bat to the ball, hard to the ball, will always be a better way of getting it.
Let's have a look at the replay as Tsitsikronis goes in head first and...
Oh.
Great power. She could have stood up. Here's Jenna Trim with a runner in scoring position. Nice pitch on the outside edge. So Nakamura gave up 3 in the first, a 1-2-3 and in the second, has given up a lead-off double here in the third. This will be a test to see her medal as she struggled under pressure in the first. And a nice change up for a called strike.
I was just going to say that I haven't seen her throw a lot of change-ups, and I think that's a bit of an issue. Normally you see a lot of it with the Japanese team.
Comes back with a hard down and out. 1-2 count for Trim. Outside for 3-1. 2-2. Now 3-2.
It's impressive how patient our batters are. I'm really impressed with them.
Yeah, really making the Japanese pitchers come to them rather than chasing something for a miss hit. Swing and a Yes, great pitching. She just stayed on that outside edge, that whole at bat then with just the one change up. And gets her strikeout. So strikeout number 3 for Nakamura. Runner still on 2. Taylor Titsakronis. Pippa Adkins up to bat. It's the first of back-to-back walks in the top of the first. Nice hit up the middle. The shortstop's in shallow, so it's not going to score a run. The throw goes to the cutoff, and Pippa Adkins rips the ball up the middle. She had a great day, a double and a sacrifice in the first game, a walk and a single in game 2, and the Aussie Spirit have runners at the corners.
Fantastic. She came off that USA series and probably was very disappointed with her performance. I remember talking to her after it, and she's come back so strong. I'd love to know what she's been doing between now and then. Certainly it's working.
Yeah, well, she's played a fair bit of softball, hasn't she? She the Chinese Taipei series, whatever she's doing locally here in Brisbane, USA Down Under series, Gillies Shield, and finds herself back on the diamond. So she's been playing some high-quality softball, hasn't she? So probably not surprising that a player of that quality has come to play.
And yeah, bounced back well and truly.
Yeah.
It's good to see.
Timeout was called by Team Japan, and just probably having a chat about the 1-3 defence. We saw Australia's aggressive move that came up trumps for the Japanese. They took 3 bases, scored a run on their 1-3 split. Let's see what happens with Adkins at first, Titsakronis at third, and Kylie Steamers in the box. Swing and a miss, and interesting 1-3 split offensive move.
Yes. Yeah, probably Steamers needs to take a leaf out of Titsakronis' book and go with that outside pitch.
And that one in there for a strike. So that's the best way, isn't it, is to get on top of the count early, and now the ball's in your court, although the Japanese defense all inside the line trying to stop that run from scoring. Outside for a ball, and that's good eyes from Steamers. So she sort of fanned at the first one that was off the plate.
Yes, she came off it a bit too quick, but I can see she's got a 2-strike adjustment. She's moved her hands just from the knob of the bat.
Adkins takes off the 2. Titsakronis doesn't go as the play to Shiho Suto. She manages that really well. We'll see it on the replay. She gloves it off one bounce, checks the runner at 3, underhands it to first to ensure the out, and that is out number 2. Brings back the debutante Abby Bastian to the plate.
Walk last time up to bat.
Had that shot up the middle. It was Steamers that had the walk, and Bastian hit that ball up the middle that
yes,
scored the run from 3, and then Adkins came round with the interference at home. Outside. Just going back to see how it was actually scored, because what happened, reached on the error from the shortstop, so that was the second error of the inning from Nakamizo. She's been replaced since. She gets a hold of this. It's a high foul ball. It landed in play. So the first base player, Shimoyama, felt for the fence, then took her eye off the ball, and we'll see it on the replay. You can see the catcher communicating. Reach for the fence and went over her head. So a life for Bastian. What's happened there as well?
The catcher did a great job of blocking that ball.
I was in the dirt, was it?
Yeah.
I've got got a big unit sitting in front of him. He's looking at him. You see the size of him. Nice piece of the ball from Bastion. A hard hit ball out to the right side. But Fujimura gets under it, takes the comfortable catch. And Japan give up 2 hits but deny the Aussies in the top of the third. But they still lead 3 runs to 2. Here's another look at the catch from Fujimura. Well, great action so far in Game 3 of the Softball Australia Cup. Earlier on in the day, it was Australia 4-0 over New Zealand, and then Japan 12-0 against New Zealand. So not a great start to the day by the Kiwis. They'll be back tomorrow for sure. They'll learn from today. And now in this game, Game 3, it is the Aussie Spirit leading 3 runs to 2 against Team Japan. Kaya Parnaby on the strike, just going through a warm-ups, nearly wore one from Titsakronis as the throw went over. And Team Japan have had a big chat in between innings outside their dugout. Normally the hunters, today seemingly the hunted Japan.
Well, let's hope it stays like that, and that Australia can keep holding these batters out.
Fujimoto, strikeout victim in the first inning, hitter number 2 in the order, leading off the third. Hard ground ball to shortstop. Giros takes a good play and fires it across to Stevens for the first out.
You would have thought she'd been playing there the whole time, Giros. She's looking pretty solid.
Absolutely. 2 starts in this series, and it's her debut for the Aussie Spirit. Game number 2, looks like a veteran already. Shimoyama's the only right-handed hitter in this Japanese lineup for this game.
I wonder how she feels about that.
Well, Parnaby throws that backdoor curve. It starts in the left-handed batter's box and comes in, cuts the edge, paints the corner, and she's ahead of the count. Staying on that outside edge, but down in the dirt. When you're ahead of the count like that, Joyce, you can play with the batter a bit, right?
Absolutely. In fact, that's what you want to do. You want them to try and swing at balls. There's a lot of pressure on the batter with 2 strikes and no balls on them.
Fouls that one off.
It's a bit of a defensive shot almost. There's a lot of ways of looking at that. So some people say you never throw a strike after 2-0, but I think you mix it up a bit. You really don't want the batters just going, oh, they're just going to throw me the ball.
Yeah.
Don't want to be too predictable in this game.
That one's in there, and she just chopped at it really to stay alive, maybe trying to foul one off, but uncomfortable looking swing, grounds out to second base to Tamika Whitefield.
That's great defence by Australia. Parnaby and Titsakronis are doing a great job. And they had that, sad part last innings where they had those 3 hits, but they've come back and they're doing a great job. Really holding these hitters again.
Yumalchi, the hitter flew out to the right side. An interesting ritual there in the left-handed box. It was almost a little bit of a dance or a shuffle timeout call from Titsakronis, wanting to get the signal right down to 8 seconds. See if you can get a look at it. Have a look. Is she a bit of a wiggle and a jig in the box? As she settles in. And he hits one high out to the right side. Nicole Conacher gets under it to take a good catch and a 1-2-3 inning. Here's a look at the replay. Some great defense from the Aussie Spirit.
Yes, it's good to see that they've come back and the battery are really holding the batters. You know, this team are a great team, and Australia have done a great job so far. They've come out, put pressure on them right at the start, and that makes a big difference about how the rest of the game's going to go.
Yeah, and look, we saw the, I don't want to call it strict, but we saw that the Japanese don't like to give too many chances. If there's an error in the field, we've seen Nakamizo is replaced. He made a couple of fumbles in the first inning. But Nakamura, they've stuck with her, the pitcher. She gets an extra chance. She's given up 3 runs in the first, 2 hits, including a lead-off double in the third, sticking with her.
Yes, probably she's looking at the fact that that first innings against Australia, realistically, there was only 1 good hit. She was a couple of errors in there, unfortunately, that helped score some of the runs. But I'm assuming Utsugi is testing their players here to see which players are going to be able to do the hard work before going to the World Cup.
Yep, handle the pressure. Back with the action, top of the 4th. Chelsea Robinson, bat in hand. Another one of the debutants in this series, and it was great recognition from Stacey Porter before the game when they mentioned nice piece of the ball and a hard bounce. She's going to beat that out. Well, I'll be interested to see how this is scored. Official, as the ball took a nasty hop on the second or third bounce. You've scored an error.
Yes,
you get another view of that one, and you watch how nasty that second bounce is.
Oh, I agree.
Third bounce.
I agree, but I still think she should have had it.
We're talking world-class athletes right here as Chelsea Robinson, the runner on first, and Nicole Conacher, the batter in the box, shows bunt, fouls it off. And Australia with their lead off aboard. Gets this one down. The left-handed catcher with the advantage on this occasion. E-Day charges that ball down, fires it across for the first out, but the job's done by Conacher. There's the advantage of your left-handed catcher. A right-handed catcher would have to run around or spin around before she could make that throw. Robinson advanced to second, and it was an error scored for Chelsea Robinson. Oh, hard hit shot. Great intent from Whitefield, but it fouls off. One out on the sacrifice. Here's Whitefield, the lead-off. Her 3rd plate appearance. It is the top of the 4th. So the 3rd time through the lineup against Nakamura.
That's
still
pretty
wearing
good.
glasses here, and we're under the lights, the electric light. I've never seen this before. Sunglasses on.
Yeah, I don't know.
Under lights.
Maybe she doesn't even know they're on. Or maybe there's something about it. You know how they put the black under the eyes to stop the reflection? The lights?
Oh, well fielded. She checks the runner, spins when she knows that she doesn't have a play. Robinson advances. She's fielded that really well. So not affected by the Sunnies. Had a nice play. So Whitefield still does her job, advances the runner. And well fielded by Nakamura for the second out. Majoris 2 for 4 against New Zealand, has not reached base yet in this game against Japan, but has looked dangerous. It's a piece of this one deep to right field. Fujimura backs back and takes a good catch. She had to move back with the flight of the ball, and she got on her bike as well. You won't see it at the start of the... Well, here's the replay of the bunt, the left-handed catcher. What are we seeing here?
That was a lovely bunt.
That's just one
Great
of the outs
sacrifice.
during the inning. And great action. Thank you to our team at Spacequake Sports. It's their international debut, a WBSC event. They have, of course, covered the Aussie Spirit versus Denso series in Adelaide. Here's a look at the catch taken by Fujimura. David Muggleton and the team also on debut.
She makes that look very easy.
Yeah, great catch. Georgia's still on the hunt. We'll catch up with her perhaps in the next inning, trying to see if she's got any special guests in the crowd. And we're in the middle of the game, middle of the fourth. The Aussie Spirit lead at 3-2. Majority of the offense has come from Team Australia. They've made some great connection. They've moved the runners around. They've been patient in the box, going deep in the count. A couple of sacrifice bunts as well. But it was this part of the order that Japan did the damage in the second inning. 3 successive hits to Kudo, Tsukamoto and Suto, and that all 3 are due up in this inning. Three in the first for the Aussies, and they've left 3 base runners stranded since that inning. Japan having the advantage of hitting last in this game. Effectively the home team, but utilising the first base dugout. Kanakudo in the box. 3-0, being careful with Kudo, who led off with a double in the second, and she leads off with a walk here in the fourth.
That lead-off is so important to get. You really don't want that lead-off runner on. Just adds that extra pressure to every player on the fielding side.
Tsukamoto, the hitter, the designated player. RBI single in the second. And it was in a blink of an eye, wasn't it, that Japan had those 3 hits, 2 runs scored, and right back in the game. I'm not allowed to say it,
no, you're
Joyce,
not.
but Joyce just pointed out, it wasn't me, it was Joyce that just pointed out to me that we've got Tamika Whitefield now defending second again for this bunt situation, leaving that gap again between first and second base players. But a bit smarter pitching here from the Aussies, attacking the outside edge, so not allowing the batter to turn on the ball. There's Tamika Whitefield. Playing a couple of steps up the middle.
Oh.
Our old friend Lee Hull, who has passed away, would have said, repeat of earlier message, another ball through the 3-4 hole and a single out to right field. They're just leaving it wide open for them to hit into that gap. That's really good hitting from the Japanese.
It is really good hitting, and I'm sure there's a reason, or whether that ball's not supposed to go where it has. But she certainly has done a good job. And, look who's coming on. Arwen.
The youngster who debuted just a few hours ago is getting her opportunity against world number 1, Japan. Arwen Kavanagh will relieve Kaya Parnaby, who threw 3 innings, 3 strikeouts and gave up 2 runs off 3 hits. If you count her inning of work here in the 4th as well, she's given up 4 hits and just the 1 walk. She did hit a batter as well, but a great effort to go 1.5 times through the Japanese lineup, and we're already at the halfway mark of the game. So great performance from the Aussie veteran.
Yeah, fantastic. She's really done a good job. And when you think she's coming back into the game after an injury, after having her last season in Japan, and having to face, it must be hard to have to face against the Japanese batters, to come back knowing that, you've just stopped doing that and you're heading off in a different direction. But she certainly has the energy, and she really wants to get back to where she was, Kaya Parnaby.
Yeah, and a great outing as well from Kaya. Well, let's look at this picture here. Arwen Kavanagh, completely different situation to when she came in. A 4-0 lead against New Zealand, and she threw to 7 batters for 6 outs against New Zealand. She comes into this game with a 1-run lead. She's still got another 4 innings of work to go, 2 runners on base.
That's pressure, but let's see what she can do. I think that's probably why Coach Porter's put her out there, is to see, she's in our team. Let's see what she can do. Can she stand up, and throw the goods down at these great hitters? It's a great test.
This is Shiho Suto, who came in to replace Nakamizo. She has a single in this game. This one just gets away from Titsakronis, bouncing before it reaches the glove on the outside of the plate for the lefty. So, for those that don't know, the right-hander's batter's box looks like the Grand Canyon after a little while. The grounds crew have done an amazing job here at Downy Park, but you'll never be able to stop that right-hander's batter's box from getting a bit messy. So, tough one for Titsakronis as the runners now move into scoring position. Hard hit shot. It's going to score 2 because it's into the centre right alley. 2 RBIs and the lead change. Japan will lead for the first time. Great shooting from Suto, who interestingly has a batting helmet and a running helmet. I just saw the change there. She's got the grill on the batting helmet. She drives this one into the alley, and nothing Pippa Atkins can do to stop the 2 runs from scoring.
I'm wondering whether it was meant to be a high pitch like that.
And this one gets away from Titsakronis again, with the runner turning 2 and applying some pressure. Let's have a look at the replay again. Great shot from the Japanese, and it was those hitters again, 5, 6 and 7 in the order, that did it in inning number 2. A double to Kudo. This is in the second. An RBI single from Tsukamoto, and then a single from Suto. 2 of those runners crossed the plate. And again, leading off the 4th, a walk for Kudo, a single to Tsukamoto, and a 2 RBI single to centre field for Suto in the 4th. They've done all the damage.
And they certainly have. They're good hitters.
This pitch from Kavanagh on the new hitter Kawamura. Geez, it silenced the crowd, didn't it?
Yes. Change up.
Yeah, great pitch.
Yep.
And Kawamura grounds out to Whitefield, who had to do a lot of the work herself. She had to come and get this one as it was off the end of the bat. You watch her charge it here and underhand it to Steamers at first. And the runner makes her way across to third. Another timeout called. It is a Japanese substitution. Okawa wears the uniform number 19.
Oh, look, another lefty.
Another lefty. Mayu Okawa. Well, just the one out so far here in the fourth inning. Aussie defence comes inside the line to defend that runner at 3, and perhaps a short game threat in Okawa. And Owen Kavanagh working to find a spot here, going behind 2 balls and no strikes in the count.
And this is where it becomes difficult for the catcher. Kavanagh's best pitch is her drop.
And now goes 3-0. A real test now for the Aussies, who held a 3-run lead, came back to a 1-run lead, and now trail by a run here in the fourth. And a 4-ball walk for the pinch hitter Okawa. And the runners back on the corners for the Japanese, and we saw how dangerous they were running the bases just 2 innings ago. The 2 runners stole 3 bases to score a run. Aussie defence.
Wow. She's not far off the zone.
Yeah, I was just going to say Aussie defence will be tested here, as that one just missed.
Yeah. Nice. Again, her best pitch is a drop pitch, and every drop pitch she's thrown lately has gone in the dirt, so it's hard for Titsakronis.
1-on-1 pitch is hit hard to the left side. The runner is tagging up on 3 and will score easily. The runner on 1 was 2/3 of the way to first, so really applying that pressure as she hustles back. And 2 out now. A 3rd run scored in this inning. Having a look here at the catch taken by Abby Bastian at left field. Fujimura with a sacrifice fly. Now Fujimoto up to bat, her 3rd plate appearance.
Well, those change-ups look really good, and they don't look far off.
That one's down and low. Fujimoto on screen. Okawa, the runner, on first. 2 out in the bottom of the 4th. And that one is up and out of reach for Titsakronis to allow Okawa to move into scoring position. And Japan have scored 3 in this inning to take the lead by 2.
Titsakronis really trying to talk to Arwen, trying to settle it down.
And the base on balls and maybe a little bit of frustration on perhaps where those are missing, but the game is in the hands of a very experienced umpire in James English, so must be off the plate like we are on a slight angle.
That's so nice.
Shimoyama, the hitter for Japan, that one's in there for a called strike.
Nice.
Backs that one up with that best pitch, Joyce, that you mentioned. 2 successive down balls to go up 0-2. And now the ball back in the Japanese court. Will they swing?
Yes.
In a ground ball for Kavanagh. Gets it her way with that at-bat against Shimoyama and gets Australia out of a bit of strife. They had to face 8 batters in that inning, and Japan score 3 to take the lead. We've got Georgia ready to go with a special guest.
That's right. I'm here with Kylie, the president of the Brisbane Softball Association. It must be pretty special to have this tournament here at your home ground.
Absolutely. It's a wonderful opportunity to show off Downy Park in all its glory and to see such wonderful talent on the diamond.
And talking about talent, some of these players would be familiar with playing here over the years. Tell me about who has actually played here at Downy Park.
Oh, for those that are on the diamond for this game, certainly Pippa and Kylie have been a regular at Downy Park summer season. Tamika has a history back in the day. Abby even came to a tournament and played for one of our local clubs in our 21 and under tournament recently. So there's quite a few out there. I'm missing a couple there, but just for those that are currently on the diamond, those are the few, but we've got a few others there.
Yeah, and while that's a wonderful thing to celebrate, unfortunately it has been a bit of a tough journey here for the Brisbane Softball Association the past couple of years. A real story of resilience. Can you talk us through some of the things that have happened and how so much has gone into being able to make these games possible at this venue?
Yeah, absolutely. So back in 2022, we were hit by a huge flood that happened in Brisbane, and then so imagine the water hitting the dugouts there, and all the players that you see now would be underwater. That was Downy Park in 2022, and then in 2025 we had the Cyclone Alfred. So we've recovered somewhat from those disasters.
Yeah, well, we'll head back to the game now.
Hard hit shot from Titsakronis to lead off the 5th inning, and a nice play by Shiho Suto at second base. 1 pitch and 1 out. How hard she hit this ball.
Very hard. She's on fire, Titsakronis. She looks great. She's so strong. And her eye is so good at the moment as well.
First pitch swinging for Jenna Trim as she grounds out to Yamelchi at third base. 2 pitches, 2 out. Exactly what Australia didn't want. A quick offensive inning after having to face 8 batters in the previous inning.
Yes, you really need to give the young pitcher Owen a bit of time. They need to take some pitches. Hopefully we have here Atkins will look at a few.
Well, that one was out of the zone, so Japan also trying to extend this inning. Oh, that one bounced before the batter's box, so just slipped off the hand there as Pippa Atkins will go ahead of the count. 2 balls, no strikes. And yeah, well, last couple of innings have belonged to Japan. 2 in the second and 3 in the fourth. They lead it 5-3. They had the advantage of batting second. Now the game's on their terms as Nakamura not able to get a handle on this ball here.
No, and I think, you know, Australia need to do what they did in the first innings and start putting pressure back on them, start hard hit balls on the ground. We saw what it did. Any player can make mistakes, but you've got to put the pressure on them.
And Atkins has reached all 3 times that she has been to the plate in this game. A walk, a single and a walk. There's 2 out, and that'll bring up to bat Kylie Steamers. Still persisting with the Sunnies. Kylie Steamers a walk in the first inning, ground out in the second time up to bat. Pippa Atkins poised at first. And the Aussies hoping to get something going. They have left 5 runners on base, scored 3. And a hard hit shot, yep. Deep into the alley, but Kawamura does very well not only to get there, but she's tracked it so well under the lights. That's a great catch because the wind has been swirling a little bit. Let's have a look on the replay here. Great power from Steamers.
Yeah, she can hit the ball long. She's a good hitter. Again, she makes that easy.
Yeah, makes it look very easy. Yeah, the Aussies have left 6 runners on base now, Joyce, and 3 hits for their 3 runs, whereas Japan have left 4 runners on base, 5 hits and 5 runs in the game so far. So Japan seemingly have arrested this game and the momentum, and again, they're having this long chat out in front of the dugout before they go into their batting innings. So is that something that you would see regularly from the Japanese team?
Yes, they love meetings.
Okay.
Definitely. That's saying that they're always talking to the batters about what they should be looking for, what pitches they should be going for. So they leave nothing to chance. And when your lead coach is actually one of the best players who's ever played for Japan, you know, it makes it pretty interesting.
Saori Yamauchi, the hitter, a couple of pop-ups in this game, one to shortstop and one to right field. And then, well, it's trouble signs for Australia because its hitters 5, 6 and 7 due up. Oh. They've done all the damage in this game. As Kavanagh tries for that outside edge.
Yeah, this batter's important. Must get the first batter out. Because as you saw, that group of batters that are coming out, they all started from batter number 5, who started off the hits or getting on base, putting pressure on Australia.
As Kavanagh into motion and finds the zone. Takes her time, doesn't she, Kavanagh? It's an efficient motion and takes her time, makes sure she's settled between each pitch. Malchi fouls this one off. And we've got a full count, 3-2.
It's good. Kavanagh's coming back at her. Excellent pitching.
And the leadoff will walk in this 5th inning, and Kavanagh now will be tested. Yamalchi walked and brings up Kudo, who's hit a double and has a base on balls in this game. And this majority left-handed batting lineup proving to be a handful for young Kavanagh.
Look, we look at her this morning and what she did this afternoon, earlier on. She really came on and she dominated. She looks a little bit nervous tonight, and that would be a normal thing for a young person playing against the best team in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And coming in the situation with runners on as well. Nice change of pace, finds the zone.
That's a nice pitch. Oh, dear. Looks very good. This is me wishful thinking here. I want it to be a strike. And it's actually good pitching from young Kavanagh.
Yeah, just missing on a 0-2 count. That's pretty good pitching. It's 1-2 now. Goes inside, fouls off. And Kudo has looked in control the whole time she's been in the box. Smashed one her first plate appearance. Power hitter for the Bee Queens, the Queen Bees. Oh, nice play from Kavanagh for the lead runner. And will force the double play. Well, I'm waiting to see what's happened there.
Oh. Did it touch the catcher's glove?
Catcher's interference. Well, what a great play from Arwen Kavanagh, but yeah, catcher's interference. You saw it. Titsakronis just pull the glove back a little bit, but it did look like Australia had the double play, but the catcher's interference. We'll see a free base for both the runner and the batter.
Yes.
The bat, the catcher's glove cannot touch any part of the bat during the swing. Catcher's interference is awarded, and now Japan have 2 runners aboard, and they find a way yet again, Japan, to increase that pressure. And up to bat is Tsukamoto, who has 2 hits in this game, an RBI in the second, and she's got a runner in scoring position here in the 5th. Hits it hard to Whitefield, who plays this one up the middle, and Juros thinks better of it. Just trying to keep that runner at 3 at bay and not give up another run and extend that lead. So runners now at the corners. It was a hard hit ball though.
It was excellent, and a great pickup and backhand by Meeks. It was a great play. Oh, they have that one. And how many times has there been a 1-3 play situation in this game?
A lot. So Kudo is forced out at second on the fielder's choice. 1-3 for Japan. We saw their relentless base running last game against New Zealand, stealing even pass balls, taking bases when they were up 8, 9, 10 runs. They don't take their foot off the throat, but here a little watchful in the 1-3 splitters. This one's hit hard up the middle, and runners will advance a base. It was hit that well that the ball is right back into the infield, and the crowd is silenced as we see super sub Shiho Suto came in after the first inning and has gone 3 for 3, hits it hard up the middle, swaps out her batting helmet for her base running helmet, and runners will advance on a pass ball. So 6-3 now for Japan. Another RBI for Suto to go with her 3 hits. She's got 3 RBIs and 3 hits in this game.
She makes everything look so easy. Nice hitting.
Defense for Australia inside the line, trying to stop the run from scoring. Not going to stop it with a hard hit like that from Kawamura. Her first hit of the ball game, and it's an RBI single to the left side, and things need to change quickly. And as I say that, Coach Kerry Porter calls time, and we're going to come and have a chat to a young pitcher. Duros dives but can't stop it. I've got 9 the replay. Joyce, what can you see?
Yeah, she's a long way from it, but at least she had a go.
I thought you were looking at the new player coming into the game. Stephanie Trzynski is going to get a pitch, and so third pitcher of the game for Australia. And Steph Trzynski is going to come in with, Joyce, a 1-3 split.
Just for something completely different. This will be interesting to see how Trzynski goes. She's quite a good spot pitcher, which is the best sort of person you want throwing against Japan. Again, another test. Let's see what she can do, Steph. She's been out of the Aussie team for a little bit, and she's come back in. Yeah,
this summer she had a couple of innings against Chinese Taipei in November. Has been pitching a storm in the Softball SA Premier League. Went to the Gillies Shield through 37 innings for the reigning champs, the SA Stars, for 43 strikeouts and an ERA of 0.946. Just put up great numbers and helped lead that SA team into a second final in 2 years, and weren't able to defend, as New South Wales were just too strong in that final.
Yeah, she really pitched well at Nationals. She was very impressive. Great to see her come back and be so strong on the pitching mound.
Yeah, is looking fit, strong and healthy. Just goes about her work in the Premier League that I was talking about. So, well, dominantly is a word, and leads all comers with ERA in that league as well. And we had our 70th country championships last weekend, and she played in a showcase game and showed her dominance there as well. So just in good form at the moment, Steph Trzynski. So we wish her all the best. Hopefully this isn't the commentator's curse. Last time I talked her up, she got hit. So this is Ide, the 9-hitter for Japan. Runner takes off on the pitch and the throw goes wild. It's going to allow timeout called. It's a dead ball. The runner has left the base early. So the runner of 3 will have to go back. The runner on first is out. So a cheap out for the Aussies. There's 2 out now in the bottom of the 5th.
We'll take anything for the second out.
And that pitch effectively doesn't count, as Trzynski pitched a strike. The throw goes over. It was a little wild, and it will reset to a no ball, no strike count. Runner at third. That runner at first is out. It was
so 2 out.
Suto is the runner who left early, and 2 out. So Trzynski's thrown no pitches and has an out already. Just a little high in the zone, and Ide, who had a called strike, now has a 1 ball count.
Oh,
Nice rise ball from Trzynski. And Ide chases upstairs, fouls it off.
It's just so hard when you get someone who can throw a good rise. You know, it comes in, it looks like it's going to be a strike. To be a good batter, you have to be able to read that spin to see how it's going to move, to be able to hit it.
Nice pitch finds the zone and evens up the count. We'll get a correction. It is 7-3 on the scoreboard as this ball is hit high and goes foul.
She definitely likes those high pitches.
Doing well just to stay alive in the count now. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 out, bottom of the 5th, and Japan lead at 7-3 after scoring another 2 in this inning. Hard hit ball to the right side. Conacher gets on her bike under it and takes a good catch to end the inning. So Steph Trzynski does well.
Excellently coming in to do that, because we were really struggling, weren't we, to try and get those outs in this innings.
Yeah, coming in with a 1-3 split, 1 out, just giving up another couple of runs. Get lucky with a runner leaving the base early, retiring the 9-hitter, and Australia now with their work cut out. Going into the top of the 6th inning, they trail by 4. It's 7-3 in favour of Japan.
It is really hard for pitchers. I feel sorry for some of them when they're playing against someone like Japan, and when they get nervous, they actually hold on to that ball too tight, and then their pitches aren't as accurate, and they become a little bit defensive rather than attacking, and you really need to attack Japan to be able to beat them.
Well, we're going to see a new pitcher. This is Masaki Katsumata, who did throw in the last game, but while we've got this opportunity, we're going to cross over to Georgia. And well, for the fans at home, you may know the uniform top for Softball Australia, but she's going to give us a bit of a story on the uniform.
That's exactly right, James. So we want to have a quick chat about the gorgeous Aussie Spirit journey designed by Kylie and her son, Jack Hill. And, of course, it has some very important motives across the design, including the boomerang coming back to our country after travelling across the nation, the stars to represent navigation, the meeting place represents the international diamonds that they play together, the small meeting places represent the families who support across the softball journey, our individual softball journey itself, the lines you'll see on the left-hand side running down the top, also talks about the connection between home, state and soil, and stories together for how they've started and how they've come to play for the Aussie Spirit team, and the Kangaroos to represent a spiritual connection to the land and ancestors. Softball has a really proud First Nations history, of course. It is the choice of sport for Indigenous communities, and 3 Indigenous Australians have represented Australian women's softball. One of them we spoke to at the start of this very broadcast, and Stacey Porter.
Yeah, great insight, and it's a great design, isn't it? There it is on screen, Joyce, the Aussie Spirit Indigenous jersey.
It is, and very Australian, and it'd be great to see them win in that shirt today. But they got a big job ahead of them to be able to do that. And you have the new picture on there, Misaki Katsumoto, who they say is the second Waino. So she even looks like she's wearing the same glasses that Waino wears when she pitches as well. She plays on the same team as her, Queen Bees.
And she fires that one in there, so great velocity as well. So if you're going to emulate someone, it may as well be one of the greatest of all time. Here's Abby Bastion. New Waino take that as she wallops that one up the middle. It gets under the glove of Carol Maru. Paramura, centre field. I'm tongue-tied. I'm excited for the young player, the 18-year-old.
And when we say it, when in comes Misaki Katsumata, and she gets welcomed into the game by an 18-year-old who hits it very, very hard to centre field. Fantastic job, Abby Bastian.
Wow. Absolutely drills that one to centre field, and the Aussie Spirit have a lead-off double. So runner in scoring position for Chelsea Robinson. Change up first pitch for Robinson. Yep, official score is a double, so no chance for that centre fielder to take that one. It was very low to the ground. This one's up and in. So Abby Bastian gets her first hit in Aussie colours. Not one missing. So 3-0 for Robinson. After a lead-off double from that player, Abby Bastian.
You know, when you watch this picture, she does look exactly like Wayno when she pitches. But she has virtually the same action.
Chelsea Robinson aboard from a base on ball. So 2 batters, a double and a base on balls. And head coach Kerry Porter wants to have a chat to Nicole Conacher, the lefty and number 9 hitter, charged with the conference, and played up by James English and Shaw's. Coach Porter knows that. And the Japanese defense, even before the batters in the box, are all the way down, past 2/3 of the way. They're almost halfway down the line. As Bastian gets a good lead off, the centre fielder is close by, but no cover at 2. No cover at 1 for Robinson, so there'll be bigger lead-offs this time around.
Yes, absolutely.
Hard slap. He's going to try and force a runner at third. Nice play in the end. And they didn't panic. They played that as cool as anything. It was Kanakudo, the shortstop, who first traps it and then gives time for Yamauchi to get back to the base and beats Bastian back there. So nice play, Joyce.
It was a great play, and unfortunately, but just that ball off a little bit off to the side might have made a difference, but it was a really good attempt by Conacher.
Back to the top. Game's original leadoff, Tamika Whitefield.
She's due this game. Now would be a great time to get a hit.
Pulls that one hard down the left line. Foul.
Tough competitor, Tamika Whitefield, has a great family of softball. Her father who pitched, of course, great pitcher, and her brother, an amazing baseballer, and her mum played too as well.
Although her brother does play baseball, he still hasn't forgotten his roots. I remember an interview at a Baseball World Cup that he did, and they asked him where he got his start, and he said softball. So he's never forgotten where he's come from, as she will go down swinging on this occasion. It's the second out, so Japan just bounced back after lead-off double to Bastian. Base on balls to Robinson. It was a 4-ball walk. Great defensive play at shortstop by Kudo, and then a strikeout. So Katsumata with her first strikeout of the game. Brings up Maya Juros, and have a look at the Aussie players that have featured in this inning. Debutant Abby Bastian, Chelsea Robinson, who was a debutant last game, and now up to bat Maya Juros, who's debutant today. She fouls this one off.
we sort of hoped they'd do this, to come out, no fear, swing the bats and do really well. Show the coach, basically, I want to be in the team full time. I want to be at the World Championship.
0-2, but she's swinging away here, Giros. Protects that outside edge, so
Nice swing.
it is time for Australia here. They need to claw one back here in the 6th. Oh, she protects high in the zone as well. Joyce, I've seen it a couple of times. The catcher, the Japanese catcher, will put her hands out just before the pitch is going to be released. Is that a signal to the defence or back to the pitcher?
No, I just think they just do that the whole time to say, keep it out. They do it all the time. They always have. Yeah.
Does it in there. So
Yeah.
low for a ball. Great batting from Giros, who has faced 5 pitches already this at-bat for a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Interesting to watch the catcher too. Like when you talk about framing, she certainly doesn't do it like we try and insist our catchers do.
There's a shot up the middle. Robinson will score. It bounces off the glove of Kawamura at centre field. And Maya Giros has an RBI.
It was seriously a good turn of bat by Giros, and coming through like this, the new pitcher is doing a good job. But she was obviously sent in here to shut down Australia, and Australia are doing exactly the opposite.
A hit right back up the middle, scores Robinson. It was a bobble from the centre fielder that allowed Robinson to score unopposed. And runners, Nicole Conacher to move to 3rd. Great backup from the right fielder as well, Fujimura.
Yep.
Very important.
Textbook. That's a great keeping the ball in front of you by the catcher. Great block.
Taylor Tsitsikronis, the batter in the box. RBI double in the 1st. A lead-off double in the 3rd. Lead-off line drive to second base in the 5th. And up to bat now here in the 6th with 2 runners in scoring position.
Ooh.
Are you surprised that they're not putting her on?
Again, I really think it's a testing time. I really think they want to know what their players can do. So they're not going to play the way they normally would. They want to see, can she do this under pressure?
Well, the hottest stick in the Australian lineup in the box right now. 2 runners in scoring position as Australia are chasing 3. Flirting with that change-up as Tsitsikronis perhaps not happy with that call, and neither's the person to my right.
No, I'm not. I mean, when I think of those other balls of Arwen's that didn't get called, sorry, and then you see that. Pressure only doesn't strike the players.
2-2 count as a hard hit ball out to the right side, and Fujimura has looked as solid as any fielder in this game out at right field. Tracks that one well, runs back with the flight of the ball, denies Australia in the 6th with 2 runners in scoring position. Here's a replay. Tsitsikronis does well to dig that one out low. And Australia claw one back. A lead-off double to Abby Bastion, a base on balls from Chelsea Robinson before the fielder's choice retired the lead runner. Whitefield went down swinging, and Maya Giros battled hard. She was behind the count the whole time and ripped one up the middle and an RBI single to bring Australia back to within 3. Joyce?
Yeah, it's just great to see these young players playing tough, playing it up against the big guns, and to be able to get hits Again, Kutsamata is pretty great because she is one of the best in Japan. You know, and I really see, hopefully we'll learn a lot from this game about how we play Japan the next time. And we've really done a good job at putting them under pressure. I've never seen them make so many errors.
Got to play them once a day for 4 days. And, you know, should Australia, make the final, perhaps Japan, might play them a 5th time. In the final of this Softball Australia Cup, they do have to face New Zealand once each day this week as well. So anything can happen. This is only day 1 of a 4-day tournament. Steph Trzynski back on the stripe. Back to the top of the order, and Fujimura, the right fielder for Japan, who's had a great game defensively. Relatively quiet with the bat, a ground out, a strikeout, and a sacrifice fly. And the last turn up to bat.
Hopefully Straczynski here can keep them scoreless.
Swing and a misses. Trzynski with a wry smile.
That was a big swing.
Yeah. Goes upstairs, and Fujimura leaves that one alone. 1 for 1 in the game against New Zealand with an RBI. Came in as a pinch hitter. Gets away from Tsitsikronis. She's had a big day in her international return. Caught again the full game against New Zealand and in a 4-0 win for Australia. Now catching a full game here against Japan. A few hits, some RBIs, great international return. Like she never left us. Fujimura base on balls. And the lead off aboard for Japan. So that a continual threat, aren't they?
Yes, a lead-off runner on. I know I keep saying it. It's so dangerous. That's your most important hitter to get out. That first one that comes up.
This is Fujimoto. Left fielder. Attempts the bunt, goes foul, and Trzynski, a bit of a rise ball pitcher, you would say. Good with her spots, but, you know, that rise ball is a bit of a weapon. So a handy against the short game player of Fujimoto, but don't groove one because she's liable to find that gap and take the extra bases, a speed demon around the base. Oh, hard hit shot, Robinson. Just lost sight of it, was able to knock it down, and you saw her looking around, so she kind of looks like she wore it, but and a blood lip. So a timeout's going to get called as Dave McCaskey comes out to check on her and didn't even flinch. She was searching for the ball.
Oh.
Yeah, fielding close to the bat. And she's going to have a fat lip, Chelsea Robinson.
And it always feels 10 times fatter than it actually is.
Robinson's going to...
She hit that really hard.
Get a towel or a cold compress maybe, and there's the blood. She's going to get a moment. A new mum, and made a return to the Gilly Shield. She's going to get replaced. Blood rule will allow anyone in the lineup to replace her, and it looks like Jenna Trim, who's playing designated player, will go to third base. perhaps temporarily, as the blood rule will allow up to 30 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
And we hope that Chelsea Robinson is okay. We're all talking about it now.
Yes. And you're the next one in the firing line, Janet Trim.
Yeah, slight pause in the game. Team Japan 7, 4 leaders here in the bottom half of the 6th inning, and 2 runners already aboard. A lead-off with a base on balls. The number 2 hitter with an infield single. Hard hit slap. There she is, Fujimoto. And the changes just being finalised by the plate umpire. Steph Jasinski will go back to the stripe, and although she got Australia out of a jam last inning, she's got her work cut out for her here as she's allowed the first 2 batters to reach. The blood rules also forced that change, a 5-3, 3-5. So first base player Kylie Steamers heads over to third, and Jenna Trim will take first base. Set and ready to go. First pitch swinging is straight up. Taylor Titsakronis gets under it to take the catch and retires Shimoyama, the only right-hand hitter in the lineup. Here's the replay. First pitch swing. She got right under that one.
She did. Just what Australia need right now, though, with 2 runners on and none out. Now 1 out.
Mauchi, the third base player for Japan. Walked her last time up. She was a lead-off batter in the 5th, walked and scored. Lead-off in this inning was walked. Last pitch finally outside edge. 1-1.
You know, every time you say something, it actually ends up happening. So beware.
I can't be quiet. That's my job. I've got to call the play. It's just jammed for room, and Tamika Whitefield even tried for the double. Makes the ground, takes the catch, tags the base just in case, runs into Maya Juros at shortstop, and they share a bit of a giggle here on the replay. Nice rise ball jamming her eye inside.
Excellent. Yeah, just that small moment that base was free.
2 out. For Kanakudo. A double, a walk, and a catcher's interference. She's reached 3 out of 3 times. Scored twice.
There's no emotion shown at all by this batter.
For a called strike, great edge, and again no emotion.
Yeah.
You don't want to say robots, do you? But they.
Well, you don't want to say it, but they do train so often, and they are pretty amazing.
Hard hit shot. It is popped up, and Juros is under it. Just outside the dirt, and Australia get out of a jam. The lead-off and the 2 hitter got on board, and then foul fly to catcher, fly ball to second, and a fly ball to shortstop to retire the threat. And Australia now down to their last 3 outs to score 3 to force Japan to bat yet again.
Yeah, it's always hard to get out any Japanese player. I have to say that when you talk about them doing absolutely anything, I remember playing once where we had a runner on 3, and we just knew they were going to put the squeeze on, which meant, you know, the next pitch was going to be bunted and they were going to steal the runner home. So I called a pitch out, which must have been a long, long way off the plate. And I've never seen anything like it in my whole life. This Japanese batter dived across the batting box and the plate. And, of course, she was midair when she bunted it, and that's how they beat us. Off a pitch out, off the plate. They put their body on the line. They do anything to make something happen.
Was that not batting out of the box?
No, because her feet aren't on the ground. She's midair.
Wow.
Yeah, it was scary. When you say they try anything and they do anything, you know, nothing surprises me with them.
Well, they are the best in the world for a reason, and I meant it with all due respect when I called them robots before. They are amazing to watch, and it is fantastic to have Team Japan here on Australian soil playing in the Softball Australia Cup. They need 3 outs. Australia need 3 runs to force them to bat in the bottom of the 7th, or even 4 to take a lead.
Well, let's see. They need their lead-off batter on. Starts with the change-up.
A defensive change. The catcher has been changed here. Ide's come out of the game. And is it number 6? Number 6, Karishi. Yumi Karishi has come in to catch. Just has a little bit of trouble taking that one, but it's back to the right-handed catcher. There's the new player in the game.
Oh, yeah, she catches to Furano for Toyota in Japan, this girl.
Megan Framer played in the USA Down Under Series. Has played a couple of Gilly Shields as well for Tasmania.
Furano, yes. An amazing pitcher, US pitcher. So she must be pretty good if she can catch to Furano in Japan.
Now, Jenna Trim replaced Chelsea Robinson with the blood rule, but she is up to bat right now as a designated player. Robinson due up in 4 batters' time, so we'll see if there's a substitution if required. It's a 2-2 count, though. Here's Trim. Low and out of the zone with that change up. Misaki Katsumata continues. As this one's popped up into foul territory, and there she is. The new catcher into the game. Karishi takes a nice catch.
Yes. And that always looks easy for a catcher to be able to call a fly ball like that, but there's a lot more spin on a foul ball flying than any
Absolutely.
other. It's really quite hard to keep it in your glove.
We've seen the majority of this Japanese lineup either in the game against New Zealand or this game against Australia, but we are yet to see Miyu Goto.
Well, there's some interesting things going on with that girl at the moment. Great pitcher, of course, but at the moment I believe she wants to hit as well, which is going to be interesting to see whether she gets a turn at doing that in this series.
Well, she's missed her chance so far today as Atkins fouls that one off, and plenty of batters to the plate for Team Japan against New Zealand. A 12-0 win, and then in this game they've scored 7 against the Aussie Spirit.
Great thing is the Australian team has scored 4.
Yeah, amazing for the Aussie Spirit to take 4 off them. Drop third strike actually gives Pippa Atkins a chance, but Karishi in the action again fires that one up the line and retires Atkins, who's actually had a really good day. A double and a sacrifice fly in game 1, and in this game 2 walks and a single. There's now 2 outs and Australia down to their final out. Kylie Steamer's the batter in the box.
It is actually really good batting to be able to sit there and leave those balls alone and wait for that one pitch to hit. It's great patient hitting from Atkins.
And a great crowd also turned out today for day one of the Softball Australia Cup on a Thursday as well. So probably expecting some more numbers out tomorrow and then over the weekend. So come down to Downy Park.
Not often you get the calibre of players that are here over the next 4 days.
And correct me if I'm wrong, there's no gate. Free to come and watch unbelievable international softball.
Yeah, and I think some of the people who haven't been here before, I think Georgia loves it. I mean, I don't think she's watched this calibre of softball before, so good on her.
She'll do a post-game interview for us.
Maybe we'll get her to play.
Georgie, as well as Eric and Juzzy, we thank them for their time commentating. You'll hear from them again this weekend or tomorrow even. And the strikeout swinging will end the game, and Team Japan had to come back. They had to fight a deficit. Australia jumped out to a 3-run lead, but they outscored Australia from that point 7-1 to win it 7-4. And Katsumata in a 1-2-3 final inning has got the job done for Team Japan. There's Team Australia who put 4 runs on the board, led by Taylor Titsa-Coronis, 2 doubles and an RBI. She scored a run and did a great job behind the plate tonight.
Oh, she did. She brings a lot of experience to the team, which really helps, and especially being behind the plate, everyone can see her. She's so motivated, she's strong, and she's confident at the moment. I mean, she's going through a hard time in between games. She's having to look after a newborn baby, feed a newborn baby, and then has to come out, play again. You know, it's tough, but look, she's thriving. She's loving it.
And then the Aussie debutantes as well. Abby Bastion, Maya Giros featured tonight, an RBI single for Giros, and that massive double from Abby Bastion to lead off the 6th inning. Chelsea Robinson cut one at third base, so you know, a tough one for her today, but some great play from the Aussie debutantes. As Team Japan continue to show respect both to the fans and to the opposition.
Look, hats off to them. They're great athletes. You know, Australia have done a good job to get 4 runs off them in this game. And saying that, they put Japan under pressure, and they really struggled with that pressure. And so that gives them some good advice for the future.
All right, we've got Georgia down on the sidelines with one of the young Aussie Spirit stars.
Absolutely, here with one of the newest debutants for the Aussie Spirit, Abby Bastion. Congratulations. You came on in a pretty tense time as well, bases loaded, 2 outs, and of course against the world number 1. Do you remember walking up to bat at all, or has it all become a bit of a blur?
It was a bit of a blur, but the girls had already started a lot of momentum, so I just had to make some contact and hope for the best, see how we went, and yeah.
Well, make some contact you did, and it's been a pretty big month of softball for you as well. I was speaking to your mum right after you debuted. It sounded like you were probably anticipating watching a bit more than you have. In the end, you're out here playing. You've played under 18s, under 23s, Gilly Shield, and now for Australia. How is this the best summer of your life?
Yeah, it's been a pretty fun summer of softball, and to have the opportunity to come out here with some pretty cool girls and play some of the best has been a real honour, so I'm really grateful.
And just quickly, playing against the world number 1s, game 1 across the series, of course you've got a couple more, always in the match as well. You started really strongly with the Spirit. A lot of learning opportunities on things to take into the next couple of days?
Yeah, definitely. Like, just being around all of these elite players definitely brings a lot of learning opportunities, and such a high-intensity game. I'm definitely learning a heap.
Well, brilliant work, Abby. All the best. Go celebrate with your team for a job well done and a debut well done too. I'll head back to you, James.
Thank you.
Thanks, Georgia, and thanks, Abby. future looking bright for the Aussie Spirit there. A couple of teenagers, Arwen Kavanagh, of course, and Abby Bastian debuting for the Spirit today.
It's been fantastic, and Jeros too has been amazing today. She just looks like she belongs at shortstop. It looks like she's been playing there all the time, and so it's been a great effort by Australia.
Tell us what you see here, Joyce.
Well, so Yukiko Ueno, the number one ever for Japan, was coached by Utsugi, who's there now talking to Katsumata. Now, Utsugi used to coach the honeybees, the queen bees, but now she's retired so that she can concentrate on this. But this is the next big picture. This is the next Ueno, they're saying. So she's being direct with her. She's telling her what she thinks she should do. But she really is hands-on. In fact, she was the one who sent Ueno to America to learn rise balls and drop balls. Beginning, Ueno was just a straight ball pitcher with a change-up.
Well, she took her right out to the pitching circle and gave her instruction. That is the professional outfield that is Japan. They didn't hit the panic button. They were trailing 3-0. They came back to win it 7-4. 2 wins for the day for Team Japan, 12-0. We've got another one down with Georgia. Who have you got for us there, Georgia? No, we don't have Georgia. Well, that's the 2 wins that I was just saying for Japan. It was a 12-0 win against New Zealand, 7-4 victory over Australia, and Australia didn't go away empty-handed today either. Not only did they score 4 against the world number 1, but they also had a 4-0 win against New Zealand earlier today.
Look, Australia have done a great job today. They've really turned the corner from the USA tournament. They've gone home, done their homework. But the best thing about it is watching these young kids come into the team and achieve. You know, they're setting the standard now. That puts pressure on the older players as well to really come good, except Titsakonis as well, who's hitting. You know, I think it's great to see them have more bat on ball. I think against the US team there were a numerous amount of Ks, and there haven't been hardly any of those at all. Yeah. Australia have been putting the ball into the field and hitting it quite hard.
Yeah, middling it, like some great shots all day today throughout the Aussie lineup. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for us here on day 1 of the Softball Australia Cup. We'll see you tomorrow. It's going to be a similar program. We will see Japan play New Zealand and Australia, and of course the Aussies will take on the Kiwis a bit later on as well. So on behalf of Joyce Lester and the rest of our commentary team today, we'll see you all tomorrow for day 2 of the Softball Australia Cup.